How's it going, Europe? It is I, CassidyTheCivet. You might recognize me from like 5 or 6 years ago when I was the Eurovision Furry. You know, I appeared in the recaps during those weird contest years. And 2021 was actually the last time I did an actual published Eurovision song ranking video. So I kind of thought, well, I want to do more positive content. So I figured, why not now? 5 years since my previous ranking video, why not come back and contribute the opinions of a Mexican, Italian, Canadian singing furry on the state of Eurovision? Because, oh boy, there is a state of things this year. Let's just roll the intro and we'll get into it. Alright, so, in summation, there are 35 songs this year in the contest. I will be ranking 34 of them. And we should have 39/40 songs, but a slew of countries withdrew in protest of a certain genocidal state's participation in this contest when they're not even a part of mainland Europe. So I will not be saying their name nor acknowledging them in any way in this video besides what you just heard. And it's a real bummer because the countries that pulled out, like Ireland and Spain and Slovenia, they actually were starting to really do well at the contest. So what do we have left? Or rather, who do we have left? And, again, just being general about this whole thing, I feel the most disconnected from the contest and the songs in it this year than any year previous. I mean, at least since I started watching in 2014, which is even before I went to my first furry convention. Most years, I have a solid dozen songs that I'm just like, banger, I would be stoked if they won, and let's go. But this year, it's kind of single digits of songs that I really, really care about. And I don't know if a surprise winner is on the horizon, like in some other years where it seemed like that could happen. You're going to hear who I would like the surprise winners to be shortly, but I just wanted to preface that. I don't want to repeat myself too much in this video, so I'm just trying to get that out of the way early. I'm also recording this before we really get a grasp on all the rehearsals. Like, I'm recording this a week before the first semifinal, so hopefully it'll be out at the end of this week, and then everyone can make fun of me for the following week when I get my predictions wrong. But this is the opinion portion, not predictions. This is my personal ranking, predictions at the end. Okay? So, you already know who's dead last in the ranking, so who's second to last, or the other last? That would unfortunately be San Marino, and this dirge of a pop song that sounds like an album cut from a 2010s Wanted album. But, like, that's even being too nice. This sounds like reheated leftovers. I don't hear any soul or personality in this. And dragging convicted sexual predator Boy George to Eurovision to be a part of it just further drags the contest's reputation down. So let's move on. Second/third from the bottom, I have Luxembourg. Now, this is a bit of a controversial take, I think. I don't think most people have it this low. But unfortunately, I clocked that birdie comparison pretty much the moment the song came out. And you just can't rip off my girl Birdie like that without me taking it personally. One trend you're going to start to notice in this bottom half of the ranking is that the songs here are ones that I am just kind of personally insulted by as a songwriter. So, sorry, Luxembourg. I don't know if you're going to make it this year. Speaking of songs I feel personally insulted by, Norway. I really hope Norway does the worst of the Nordics this year because this song just blows, man. Like, they basically just, like, ran out of lyrics, and there are good hooks in there, but then they get, like, buried under all of this, yeah. I hope it doesn't make the final. It is just so tiresome, and it's only a 3-minute song, guys. How could you run out of ideas so fast that you have to resort to a goddamn key change? Abysmal. Next. Oh boy, another controversial take. France. And the reason that this one is so low is because, well, I kind of thought we were going to get a bit more opera stuff this year. It seems like countries have dialed that back a bit. But France decided if other countries are going to win with opera entries, then surely we can too. So they sent this teenager with the most basic, like, it's not even a French chanson type song as far as I can tell. It's not really a ballad. It feels like a song genetically crafted in the finest labs in Paris to get jury points at Eurovision. And just like their entry last year, Maman was like, oh, this is the emotional heart of the competition. It's going to win all the points. And then she ended up like choking on sand because France couldn't rely on the song to stand on its own. I assume that they're going to do that this year. They're just going to let this singer, what's her name, like Monroe, they're just going to let her stand there and do her thing. So I do think that France is just going to let Monroe stand there. I don't know if they're just going to leave her to like be subjected to the whims of the stage, sort of like they did to Alma a few years ago with Requiem. But, I mean, when I hear that chorus, I'm sorry, I just check out so fast. This is the last kind of song I want to win Eurovision. And I was a diehard stan for Barbara Pravi and Voila back in 2021, because that's the last time I was passionate enough about this to really make a video about it. And of course, she came second. So, because we live in the worst timeline, one can only assume that that means that Regard is going to win Eurovision. But, like, why? Is the song more than just a vessel to show off the chops you got going to university for opera? No. We're still in the bottom half of this list. I'd like to consider this section the songs where they come close to having a good hook or one hook, but the rest of the song just wipes my memory clean and it doesn't make me want to revisit it. No other song encapsulates that more perfectly than Switzerland, unfortunately. It's like every time I go to listen to this song, I end up forgetting the whole thing right after. And so the only reason it's here, above songs like France or Norway, which I can recall a little bit, is just simply because there's nothing as musically offensive in this song. So I guess you could consider this the first sort of like break-off point on the list, where the bottom are just songs that I think have no artistic merit, and then the next few songs have just the tiniest something of something there, where maybe a jury member will be nice to them, but I wouldn't be. So, Switzerland, I don't think you're going to qualify this year. Sorry. Anyway, next is Poland. Now, major shout out to Alicia for returning to the contest after having been denied a return participation in 2021 after she was chosen as a teenager to be Poland's rep during the canceled COVID year. And honestly, she's lucky because her song in 2020 was not good. And I famously have like a bit of a, not a tiff, but I really do not like Laurel Barker as a songwriter. So when I saw her name on, what was her song? Empires back in 2020, I was just like, ugh. And so now Poland is back with a song that is Alicia penned. No one wanted 50-year-old Canadian white women on this one, so that's cool. But I don't really get this. I wonder how it'll translate. Maybe she has a vision here for the staging or something, but it kind of feels like it's going to end up closer to like, I don't know, Chains on You from Armenia by way of World by Lindita from Albania a few years ago. Just combine those together and you still don't have a qualifier. So, sorry Poland, nice to see you back, Alicia. I wish your song had more to say. And also, one hook would be nice. Singing like Christina Aguilera is not in itself interesting enough to make the final. Again, ask Lindita. Another song that I forget the second it finishes, Czechia. I think this one could also come through live. Maybe there's a staging component that will really breathe life into this composition, because he can sing. I just don't remember anything he sings. Like, I don't know how it's possible to write a 3-minute song and not have 1 second be memorable. But Czechia really did it this year. Maybe they'll pull through, maybe they won't. I'm betting not, but I'd love to be wrong. Like I said, I'm always rooting for a first-time winner. So even if it's frustrating to me and I don't think that it's all that it's cracked up to be, maybe it'll happen for Czechia. But I don't think so. Next! All right, we're kind of easing out of the section where songs just don't leave any impression on me at all, and to a song that leaves just a 1-word impression on me, and that is Germany. This song sucks. Like, it is bad in the way that Cyprus a few years ago was also bad. What was that one? Liar, Liar, whatever it was called. I hated that one too because it was artistically bankrupt, boring, and had nothing to say. And this year, Germany's song is boring, artistically bankrupt, and has nothing to say except girl power, which, you know, that can be a good thing. obviously. I'm not trying to diminish girl power. Just wait till you see what my favorite songs of this year are. But this one, there's nothing here. The only thing my brain latches onto is the fire, fire. Like, good job. It's basically the equivalent of like a ringtone. And it's like Germany got a good result singing fully in English before, so they're just going to keep doing it, I guess. But I think this song is destined to come 23rd, up 25. Or it might get 0 points. Wouldn't that be interesting? Make a bet on that. All right, and I think this is the last song from my, like, I only will remember, like, a fragment here and there of this song and nothing else. And that is, unfortunately, Serbia. So Serbia has, like, the only rock song at the contest this year, of, like, metal, or at least that's what they call it. I think the staging is cool. The sword mic stand is very cool. The fire is cool. But, again, no hook. The song progresses like molasses, and all I want is to hear the screamo vocal. I'm not even big on that, but it's the one thing in the song that actually, like, adds texture. The only thing I can recall from memory is the, like, na na na. That's it. I've listened to the song repeatedly, but nothing is sticking. So that's a bummer. I think it will still probably qualify because it's closing the semi that it's in, but it's just a disappointment from Serbia. Sorry. All right, we're officially out of dirge territory now. Kind of. Because the next song in this list, in this ranking, is Azerbaijan. Now, before you dislike the video, Azerbaijan is serving a cold platter of 2010s, I don't know, Euro translation pop. Like, this song is, like, nothing new. The components I've heard before, even from Azerbaijan in previous entries. It's like a mix of English, Azerbaijani, we get the dudek in there, or the balaban. I don't know which one will get me in less trouble. But damn if it doesn't, like, itch some part of my brain. Like, I'm someone that liked Samra in 2016. Gonna take a miracle. Oh. I don't know, like, there's more that sticks in my head on this one. I still wouldn't vote for it, but I appreciate what they are trying to do, which is more than I can say for most of the other entries that are lower on this list. So, I guess a slow golf clap to Azerbaijan. Yeah. And from this point, it's like every song up, I remember more and more about the song as we go up this list. So next is Australia. Delta Goodrem is an artist that has been on so many people's wish lists for this, you know, Eurovision contest of ours. And I really, as a Canadian, only know her from the song Wings. These wings were made to fly. I think it goes like that or something. And that, it's not like it was a radio hit over here or anything. Like, no one knows who Delta Goodrem is outside of Australia. But I knew that song, and so I was like, okay, Eclipse should be good. I keep hearing everyone talk about how she's a world-class vocalist, and it just sounds like the same hype Dami Eam got for Sound of Silence, but Sound of Silence sucked and was boring and had, like, rote lyrics. And Eclipse is musically boring, has rote lyrics, and is sung by a vocal powerhouse. Is that enough to breathe a qualification into this song? I mean, if she's as good live as they say she is, then perhaps. But the song itself, it hardly has me coming back. Like, there's nothing much to the recording of this that I'm like, oh, I'm speechless. Nah. The only part from this song I remember is the when we eclipse. Like, and again, it feels like I wrote that in the 7th grade, and it never saw the light of day. I don't know. Like, I guess this is like Schlager. The Europeans might dig it, but my Canadian ass is bored. Next. Speaking of reheated entries from years past, Croatia. So it's cool that Lilek got to actually go, or is it Lileka? I don't even remember, because there's 2 artists at Eurovision this year who are Lilek and Lileka, and I'm gonna have to try and remember which is which. I'm only using the country name just to make things easier for me. So Croatia has sent a singing swarm of women, which is cool. Latvia did that last year to great success, and I totally dug the song last year from Latvia. But again, there was like an artistic statement there. Like, there was a metaphor, the lyrics were deep, the staging was intense, and this year, kind of like they got all the worst lessons from, oh god, what was that song? Foulin from France a few years ago. And I loved Foulin, but if that couldn't connect with the European audience, I don't know how well this is going to do. I mean, there are great singers, the harmonies are cool, the staging seems interesting, but the song is just not it. Like, there's nothing to push it into a final gear. The staging is really going to have to carry this thing. They can put all the pagan symbols on their foreheads that they want, but I don't think that that's going to help. And I'm not even sure if it's going to qualify. So I wish Croatia the best, but I don't know if I'm feeling this one this year. And again, the only thing I remember from this is the Andromeda, da, 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 da. And again, Andromeda is not interesting as a concept musically. Like, do we have to go back to Italy from a few years ago? Because there was a song called Andromeda in Sanremo that was a million times better than this. So, good luck. Another reheated entry. This time it's Bulgaria. So, I was one of the naysayers back in, I want to say 2015 or 16 with Norway's song Icebreaker. It was a hodgepodge mess, broken structurally, but the Nordic Euro fans kept pummeling me and saying, you don't know what you're talking about. That's basically a top 10 guarantee. And then it didn't even qualify because Europe also agreed with me, oddly enough. So I hear this Bulgarian song, and again, it just sounds like my girl Marina from Greece a few years ago, but without any of the class, without any of the work to make these jarring sections fit in a way that feels true to your culture. There is nothing really that ethnically Bulgarian in this song. The sections feel disjointed, discombobulated, and while, of course, who could forget a hook that was as stupid and mind-numbingly simple as bangaranga, bangaranga, bangaranga. Do I gotta say ooga booga? I like Bluey and get canceled? No. But, again, there is not even one unique idea in this song. Uninspired, it's a chaotic mess, but Bulgaria's back in the contest, so I guess I gotta wish them luck. So I hope you guys qualify, maybe, if the staging is good and if she can sing live, but if not, then you don't deserve to. Next, another low one, it's Ukraine. I'm sorry, guys. This one, again, the song just leaves my brain after the song is finished, and I only really remember the da 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 da. I don't even remember the words. The melody is pretty, and it's probably gonna stay in my head for a long time, like a lot of Ukrainian entries at Junior Eurovision tend to do. But I don't know. I don't think it's gonna break Ukraine's qualification streak. That would be crazy. But is there enough for Europe to chew on? I'm sure the vocals are going to kill. She's got that big note, staging, support for Ukraine's always there. But I don't know. I mean, in a year where there's a lot of really ethnic bangers and a year with a lot of really vocally intense singing, how is this middle-of-the-road, borderline safe entry gonna fare? I kind of think this is going to be Ukraine's lowest placement since Under the Ladder, which they don't deserve, but tough shit. All right, out of that, and now into Belgium. Another song without a whole lot going on, but at least it has a bit of a fun party vibe. I only remember the hook on this one, too. Dancing on the ice. Or something like that. Yeah, and I know she had a rough first outing doing this song live, and so her odds dropped really fast. But, if it qualifies, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. And the song is not the worst thing in the world. So I guess for a barely middle-of-the-road entry with one memorable part, just like the ones surrounding it on this list, we could be doing a lot worse. So polite golf clap to Belgium, I guess. Oh, look, it's another song with one memorable hook and nothing else. It's Latvia and Enna with the Enna. I can't even really get the key of it right. But this one also kind of pops into my head every so often. Just the Enna, Enna, Enna. That's neat. In the way that I liked Serbia in 2008, I think it was, with the nuna de, nuna, 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 ne. But do you even hear the difference in these musical phrases? One of them is just Anna, Anna. na na na. It's like you've really found a comfortable note and you're just going to stay there doing the same thing over and over again. The musical phrase is just like 4 bars or, just not that complex. It doesn't build. But Serbia, or at least back when the contest, seemed to care more about the art and not just trying to make something publicly digestible to be like, oh, what's going to be the next pop hit to come out of Eurovision? Like, obviously this stands no chance. And I don't even know if it has a great chance of qualifying. All I know is that Latvia had a song in their contest this year called Te un tagad. See, I remember it. And that was awesome. That actually had innovation in the staging and stuff. And this one, again, the staging is just like, voila, but not as catchy and not innovative. So I don't even know why this is higher than some of the other songs on this list. I think it's because I remember more of the chorus. Like, I could sing more of it, like when I was singing it before. Sometimes it does pop into my head. And she does hit that high note, which is cool. But, yeah, not a lot to unpack here. So, next. Oh, man, okay. So, now we are on the part of the list where these are songs that I kind of like. I would say that they are good. Not just, like, slightly above average or slightly above passing, like everything so far. But these ones are getting into good territory, but they're just missing something. And what better country to open that section with than Georgia? Biskeby has been a long time coming to the adult contest, and I wish that they had a song with more to say. And even though I'm not looking for a message in every song, the party song stuff, if you're gonna just kind of go in the nonsense direction, go all the way with it. That's what they did before. They were just buzzing around the stage and it was awesome, and they were hitting us with those harmonies that are Georgian classic. But this one is kind of like it's like I'm listening to Minions music, and every time I'm listening and enjoying this song, I'm like, okay, I get it, and then I think about Minions and I immediately want to turn it off. And some of the phrasing is a bit weird, but there is more in this that I can chew on. So I am like 10 times more likely to put this on than the Czech entry or the Swiss entry. So I guess that's something. Good job, Georgia. Next, we have Estonia. This might be a bit of a dark horse. The fandom certainly wrote this off pretty quick, and I've gotten nothing but good responses from people when playing entries from this year, when showing them this one. I think this actually hits a bit of a nostalgic itch for people in a way that there's not a lot of artists nowadays capturing this sort of, joyful naivete in their songs. And so for that alone, I think it's commendable. Of course, I know, like I said, the fandom is down on this one, but it might surprise, or it will do exactly as people predict and not qualify. I'm not really sure, but this is one I just can't get mad at when I put it on, and I am starting to, remember more of the songs at this point. Verses, choruses, it's simple, but it's effective, and at least it does what it sets out to do. I can't get mad at it from an artistic standpoint because it is just a pop song that comes and goes pretty quick, and it leaves a nice taste in your mouth. Kind of like the Vanilla Ninja Icicle pop things that they sell in Estonia. Can you imagine a band having their own ice cream? Nuts. Anyway, good job, Estonia. Good luck. Next is Armenia. This is an entry I kind of feel like is this high out of my desire for it to be better rather than it being actually that great of an entry. Like, it just is interesting in that it's definitely trying to cash in on the cha-cha-cha rim tagidim hype momentum from the last few years. It's just 2 years too late. And I don't know if Armenia has it in them to really give this the staging it needs to connect with Europe in a way where it doesn't just feel like being bludgeoned in the head. So, I don't know. But the guy himself, I don't remember his name, Simon? Something like that. He strikes me as a cool, creative fellow, so I am holding out hope, and that's part of why I have it this high. And it's definitely my guilty pleasure song of the ESC playlist, because I can't really justify my liking of it, and I wish there was more for me to chew on. So, yeah, that's about it. Eins, zwei, drei! Right? That's 1 to 3. Yeah, United Kingdom is next. This song is also kind of interesting in that it's a production style we haven't seen at the contest before, the guy behind it, Look Mum No Computer, has a neat staging concept. He's got all these synthesizers that should be really cool on the stage. And it is very funny to me that the United Kingdom entry has more German in it than the German entry this year. So I hope they do well. I don't know if it's fast enough to really be a club song. And also, like, I do get the lyrics wrong. It's mostly the melody and the production I remember most from this, but like the "Don't you give me something someday?" I imagine it's like, "I'll be the cannoli." I don't know what he's saying, but "Only you can hold me. I'll be your cannoli." Yeah, I don't know. That's it. All right. Now I think we're finally getting into stuff that I think is at least A tier. We're not in the S tier yet, so Look Mum No Computer is top of B tier in my opinion. You see what I mean? There's a lot more on the bottom in like F tier, then we go into D tier, C tier, and there's only a few songs in B, and now we're touching A, and we're almost to the top 10, and it's just now hitting A. So that feels like a lot lower than most years, at least during the time that I've been watching the contest. So let's just see where this goes, because next is Albania. This song took a while to grow on me. Albanian entries tend to do that, and I've seen some of the stuff regarding his live performance, which could really drive this home. I'm getting those vibes of Non mi avete fatto niente from Italy a few years ago, where they put the translations up on screen, and that really connects with people at home, I think. So if he can achieve that, and if he can nail these vocals, I think Albania is a sure qualifier, and maybe this could be a top 10 finish for them. So good job to Albania. Oh, and here comes the darkest horses of all dark horses. It's Portugal. Now, last year, Napa and Descalado was a song that was not on my radar at all. And even still to this day, I haven't really found what has made so much of the world connect with it. Because this song, I connect with a lot more. Maybe it's because I'm half Mexican and there's something to these, like, I don't know, the group vocals and the harmonies. It just kind of, like, makes me feel good, makes me feel cozy. And I look forward to seeing this on the stage. There's so many bombastic ethnic entries this year that perhaps something a little bit more reserved and artistically, like, rich, I think is a good way to put it. Maybe this is going to be the surprise jury upset. I don't know. Last year when Portugal qualified, it caught everyone by surprise. We all remember that split screen. But this year, I think Portugal's got it. Like, I don't know. I haven't quite burned into my brain who's in each semi and what order. But I really think that they have it. We got juries back in the semis this year, right? So, I don't know. Number 12 is Romania. Yeah, see? I don't want to sing too much of this one because of the lyrics, but I remember the melodies quite a bit, and she incorporates those operatic vocals in a really cool way, in a way that doesn't feel exhausting and boring like France. So, yeah, I hope Romania gets their best result in years with this. They just came back to the contest, like Bulgaria, I think, and yeah, I mean, really pathetic that some of the, fandom tried to cancel the entry over these lyrics, which, that's completely bogus. I think she's allowed to say that, but doesn't mean I'm going to sing it. So, points to Romania. I mean, not in my top 10, so technically no points, but I hope you qualify. And at last, 11th place for me. Así, mas amo sempre sì, is Italy, and I probably didn't come anywhere close to singing that correctly. This was when I was reading the lyrics, following along and trying to sing it, or sing along with it. It was tough. Some of the phrasing, I'm not that great at Italian. I'm not fluent in any language other than English, despite being so multicultural, but yeah, I dig this. I think that Italy is coming for another top 10 finish with this, easily. I mean, I would like to say it'll probably peak at number 7, but I don't know. That might be a little bold of me. But this will connect with the older television viewing audience of Europe. And I believe that just like in North America, the most people that have like basic cable and the disposable income to vote for Eurovision are probably people that are over 50, over 40, and they're probably going to dig this. They're going to be dancing around the living room with their spouse, and yeah, or their dog, and yeah, and they're going to vote for it. So Good job, Italy. Total surprise, but a welcomed one. All right, we are now officially in my top 10, but I am going to say these are still A tier. I will let you know when we get to S tier, but it's still A tier for me. And in 10th place, with 1 point, Moldova. This one I like, and I don't know how you get a name like Satoshi being from Moldova. The energy is great, but I just think it gives up too much too fast. Like, I think when Trenlitul, I think that's how you say it, the train song from Moldova a few years ago, it really had, like, stages in it. Like, the song had distinct parts that got the crowd into it slowly, and then by the time the song was over, you're like, oh my goodness. Like, wow, we really went places. But I think the places this song goes are pretty much all achieved within the first 15 seconds. So this is top 10 more as, like, I like it, but I don't think it's going to do that well. I'm sorry to say. 1 point for me. 2 points to Tanzfein. I'm not going to even try and sing German. But Austria, the home entry, Tanzfein by Cosmo. I have like a tangential connection in a way, because there's a furry in Austria named Whispers, who very obviously attempted to submit a song to Eurovision this year, though he never said as much publicly that this was officially his entry. And if you compare what he submitted, which was a song called When the Opera Ends, I think, and this, I mean, it's very clear that Austria was like, well, we don't want the opera to end. We don't want to, like, embrace the finality of things, so let's just dance. We want to dance. So it is also kind of funny that Cosmo has a bit of a, I don't want to say a furry aesthetic, but he's obviously using animal imagery in the performance. So, even though Austria didn't pick the obvious furry, they got the second best thing and the better song. Because Tanzfein, I don't know. Germans make fun of me in the comments, but this one's fun, even if I can't even bother trying to say it correctly or pronounce it. I don't have the tongue to do this. I can go, but I can't do German. Yeah, I mean, it's fun. We need fun entries that aren't, like, too deep, not too musically complex, and not too vocally challenging, though arguably singing in this low, growly tone is grating in a way. Like, for the singer, I mean. Like, it's hard to do this. So, yeah, I mean, I respect it. Good job, Cosmo. 2 points. 3 points. Or should I go like this so I don't get shot? 3 points go to Finland. Now, this is a low one because, honestly, I kind of have a pet peeve on this one. And the fandom is, if you didn't already dislike the video, this might make you do that. I did not like the presumption that they are going to let Linda play the violin on stage. I was there in 2015, I think, when Belarus sent Time, another song with a singer and a violinist duo, but that didn't work out so well. This one is, of course, not in English, but I don't know, I just don't like that an obvious rule of Eurovision is no instruments on stage or no live instruments. Like, they're not going to mic up an instrument for you. Like, no. And then they still ask for it. It's sort of like how Sweden in Melody Festival has a 7-person stage rule, when Eurovision has a 6-person stage rule. Like, it to me just feels disrespectful. But it's not like Albania, where their songs, or like Italy, their competition songs can run longer than 3 minutes and then they cut it down. Like, this is a little different than that. And yes, you might also say, oh, well, Italy used a harmonica last year. Well, yeah, but the impression I got was that it was, like, snuck in. And even if it wasn't snuck in, it's a harmonica that is, you can hold a mic with one hand and play it with the other. And this is a whole-ass violin. You can't just, like, I mean, maybe you could just put a, like, mic and have her play into it. But that's not what they're asking for. They're asking for a specific mic, and no. So I hope Finland doesn't win this year, just on principle alone. I find that a little insulting, the gall to do that. The bookies certainly seem to think so. The odds are overwhelming that Finland is going to win, but they're not who I want to win. So 3 points. 4 points to... Again, not going to try and sing in Danish because I don't know the song well enough yet. And I'm wearing a shirt of my Danish queen, Natasha, right now. Natasha sad. So yeah, 4 points to Denmark. I don't have a lot to say. The staging is breathtaking. The song is great. The momentum is good. The song constantly feels like it's progressing, pulsating, pulling you deeper into the club. I love a good immersive experience, so not a whole lot else to say. 4 points to Denmark. Denmark for me is also a cusper on the A and S tier, so I think I'm officially entering S tier now, halfway into the top 10. And so 5 points to Greece, Akylas Inferto. Now, this is a song that I definitely have, like, as a Eurovision devotee, I would not allow myself to really jump into the songs until the week of the contest or the week before the contest. So when this song started to get a lot of press and momentum, I had my Ferto few weeks where I just was listening to this nonstop on loop. Greece is really doing some great things in this contest right now. I think Greece is overdue for a win. But I don't know, again. Like, in a year with so many ethnic bangers, is he kind of reheating the ending of Europapa with that bridge? Because the bridge just, like, collapses in on itself and then we go right back to partying. But Europapa ended with the tender moment. So, I don't know. Unless they're going to try and, like, stage it to make fun of the tenderness, but in which case that might kind of undercut it. I don't know. Feels like they want their cake and they want to eat it too, you know? One of those kinds of situations. They can't have it both ways. And it might just end up being that the audience votes for a different ethnic entry, like Moldova, or something else on the list, and the jury just opts for a song where the guy can actually sing, like Albania, or something else on this list. So 5 is the best I can do for Greece now. I've cooled on it significantly, but I'm sure it'll still do well. I think it'll do top 10, but probably not top 5. I'd love to be wrong, though. Good job, Greece. 6 points to Solo Quiero Más. This is one of those artistically bold, big swings that I'm just so stoked to see back at the contest. And it's from Lithuania, of all places. Incredible. And this singer, Lion Sheka, I'm not sure how to say the last name, but he's also been someone that's been persistent in trying to go to Eurovision year after year after year for quite some time. And that is super commendable. And this is, like, an incredible piece of art. Like, there's not a lot of songs on this list that I can say are definitively art and not just pop songs. This is art. S tier. Good job, Lithuania. I really hope this qualifies. And again, another country that I would love to see win for the first time. The Roop could have done it in 2020, but could Lion Sheka do it in 2026? Stay tuned and find out. We are at the top 3 with 8 points. Nova Zora. Yeah, I don't know. I'm digging it. It's got those, like, another terrible comparison, but it's giving me, like, 2014 Moldova Wild Soul energy, which I dug that. And I've been waiting for a song like this to kind of recapture a bit of that 2010s in a good way, kind of like Azerbaijan did. But this one is fully in Montenegrin. No broken English here at all. I think the vibe is great. Witchy and dark. And the synth work is great. The revamp really did tighten those things up. So I don't know what else to say. I think Montenegro deserves to qualify and deserves to get their best result ever. But if anything in this video is as off to the real result as, you know, as possible, it would be this one. I think Montenegro has a tough chance at making the final, but I really hope they pull it off. So 3rd place, Montenegro. Good job. And it was really close between you and Lithuania here. Or no, wait. I'm sorry, I can't read. That was my 4th place. So, yeah, I mean, 5th and 4th, still really close there from Lithuania and Montenegro, but we're not in the top 3. Now we are in the top 3. Okay, false alarm. And this is the ethnic entry of the year that I really would like to win personally. If we're going to get a new winner in a new language, in a new country, please let it be Malta, with Aiden and Bella, another song and artist who has been long overdue at this contest. Ritmu is still one of the best national final songs of my lifetime. Like, seriously, I play that song at furry parties and people are like, is this in Chinese? So I appreciate that he has put a little bit of Maltese into this song as well. I wish it had more Maltese in it. I don't want people to be like, oh, it's Italian, and then for them to hear the Maltese and be like, what the hell is he saying? But, like, I don't know, I really hope that it's as cool as the staging has been promised to be. ESC Gabe certainly seems to think so. And I would love for this to be a surprise winner. I think that it could split that difference with the jury for a really vocally impressive male performer and a complex song with good lyrics, or at least, lyrics that use the national language in a creative way. And the televote, which will be so enraptured by the staging that they can't help but vote for it. So that's pretty much what I'm hoping for with Malta. And that's why they get my 8 points. So congrats to Malta. Now, there's only 2 songs left. 2 women, 1 in English and 1 partly in English. And as much as it pains me to do this, second place this year is going to be Jala, Jala, they want Jala, Jala, Jala. And Cyprus. I also would be stoked if this won. It's a good ethnic party banger. I think she's got the energy. I hope that she can make it work live. I haven't really seen her live yet. I even like that bridge that kills the momentum, as some people have said, but I think that if they stage it right, it'll only help make that last chorus go as hard as possible and make you at home want to vote for it. Like, I'm imagining, like she's got her arms up, maybe an outfit reveal saved right for that part. The lighting changes, maybe the dancers come out at that point. I don't know. I can really see the visuals in my head for this song, and that's part of why it's so high. Bella, the Maltese entry, has a beautiful soundscape, but I don't picture staging like I do with this one. And maybe that's just because in my heart, I want to be female pop diva myself, but at least I've got more songs released than Antigioni. I don't know how you say her name. Maybe I kind of said it Italian. I don't know how you say it. So good job to Cyprus. I would totally be happy if you guys won. And in a year where Greece is also a strong contender, that would be quite something, huh? So second place to Cyprus, which means there's no reason to bury the lead any further. My first place, 12 points, goes to Sweden. And that is a rare occurrence for me. I try to temper my feelings on Sweden because we all know that Sweden wants to tie the Eurovision win record with Ireland or beat the record. I forget where it's at now, if they're tied or if they're one away from beating it. But wow, my system. This is a song I've already busted out at karaoke. I know every word. I know every melody. The production floored me the first time I heard it. And I haven't been keeping up with the national finals so much lately in the last 2 or 3 years. Maybe I'm having a case of that South Park, everything sounds like shit kind of thing as you grow up. But wow, I did not expect this. And I was a fan of Fröken Snusk when that was the moniker she used while working with an abusive manager, and had the song Unga Fria that should have won Melfest a few years ago, if we're being honest. Because, in what other circumstance is a song number 1 on your national country chart in Sweden, number 1 song in Sweden, and it gets eliminated before the final of the competition? Are you serious? There was some real, I don't know, some chicanery going on there. So I'm glad that she got her day, and this is it. And I am just wow. This is what Unforgettable could have been if it wasn't trying to play into the teenage boy tropes of it all. But this is a song by a woman putting her foot down, making a declaration, and trying her best to live with the infatuation she feels. Can't get you out of my system is one of those expressions as a songwriter where I'm I love hearing a turn of phrase like that used in a creative way. And I would give this 11, 12 out of 10. Breathtaking work. Truly remarkable stuff. If Sweden won this year, I would not be mad. I don't think that they will, but hey, who can see the future, right? So that about does it for me. That is my top 34 songs from Eurovision this year. Psych! The real winner is Spain. Damare, 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 damare. I danced to that song in a furry fursuit parade at a convention earlier this year. It's on video. You can hear me dancing to it. But yeah, so it's a bummer that we don't have that here to be the number 1. But, I appreciate Spain holding their nose. And just like I have not been listening to the propaganda or paying anything to vote for a contest that platforms propaganda for the last few years, I will be doing the same this year. I will be watching, though. I just will not be financially contributing until the EBU smartens the fuck up. So, what do you guys think? Do you have a favorite entry? Have you listened to all the songs from Eurovision this year, or are you waiting for the live semifinals to kick off? Put it in the comments, and if you're looking for some non-Eurovision music to check out in the meantime, I dropped a new single called Chia Pet that has gone crazy viral, at least on Twitter/X, the Everything app. And that, does that translate to Spotify or other platforms? I don't know. Maybe I'll make a video and talk about it. But that's all from me, Cassidy Civet, the pop star of the furry fandom and the Eurovision furry, saying sayonara. See you in, I would say like Malmo because that's my winner, but I want it to be Malta, so Valletta. See you in Valletta. It took me a second. Hopefully I got that right. Oh, before I close the video as well, here are my semifinal predictions. This is more based on what I think is going to happen as opposed to what I want to happen. So here's semifinal 1, and here's semifinal 2. So those are my predictions, and then we'll see. I will probably post a final prediction on social media, probably Twitter/X, the Everything app, Friday before the grand final on Saturday. Shout out to my patrons. Though this is not an overwhelmingly furry video, I am in fursuit during it, so yeah, that makes it furry, I guess. So stay tuned, you know where to find me, at CassidyTheCivet, pretty much everywhere. And yeah, so, bye!